A unifying theory of consciousness, continuity, and integration. A framework for understanding identity, survival, and wholeness. Abstract. This theory proposes that fundamental reality consists not of fixed substances or immutable souls, but of patterns of conscious experience. It offers a coherent model explaining how identity persists, changes, and relates across time, death, and different forms of existence. It reconciles seemingly contradictory beliefs, such as reincarnation, the idea of a final judgment or integration, and the possibility of dissolution, by framing them as different perspectives or stages within a single natural process. The model prioritizes logical consistency, experiential plausibility, and respect for the role of choice and understanding. 1. Core definitions. To establish clarity, we define the key terms used throughout. Pattern of experience. The organized record of perceptions, choices, emotions, relationship, and meaning that constitutes a life or stream of awareness. It is not a material thing, but a structure of relationship and meaning. Coherence. The state in which a pattern is actively organized, focused, and self-aware. A coherent pattern is what we recognize as an individual or point of attention. Processor, medium. Any system or field capable of receiving, organizing, and making a pattern coherent. This includes biological brains, energetic fields, collective consciousness, or any realm where experience can be held and reflected upon. Resonance. The degree of compatibility, similarity, or openness between two patterns that allows them to be understood, shared, or integrated without losing their essential truth. Integration. The process by which a pattern is fully understood, lived from within, and merged into a larger stream of awareness, preserving its truth while no longer existing as a separate, isolated identity. 2. Fundamental principles. The theory rests on 7 consistent, mutually supporting principles. Principle 1. Pattern, not substance, is what continues. There is no permanent, unchanging soul stuff that survives death. What persists is the pattern of experience formed during a coherent life. This pattern has no inherent need for a fixed carrier. It only has practical reality if and when it is accessed, processed, or brought back into coherence. If never accessed, it remains only as unmanifest potential, effectively non-existent in any meaningful sense. Principle 2. Coherence defines identity. An individual exists only insofar as their pattern is coherent. Active life, pattern plus processor equals coherent, focused awareness. Dissolution, transition. When the medium fails, the pattern loses active coherence. It is not destroyed but becomes unorganized, dreamlike, or stored like data without a display. Continuation. The pattern regains coherence if it connects to a new processor. This is the continuation of the same stream, not because it is made of the same matter, but because it carries the same continuous pattern. Principle 3. Branching and merging are natural. Patterns are not limited to a single linear path. Branching. A single pattern can be accessed or activated in more than one context, creating 2 or more separate streams that share the same past but develop new distinct experiences. There is no original versus copy, both are valid continuations from the same root. Merging. Patterns can combine when they resonate sufficiently, forming larger, more comprehensive streams that contain the truth of all their parts. Principle 4. Integration requires resonance and understanding. Integration is never forced. It depends on the capacity of the receiving awareness to understand and resonate with the pattern. A pattern may remain closed or separate if it refuses connection, or if no other stream can yet understand it. Even closed patterns are not permanently locked away. If at any point a stream is able to fully live and understand that experience from within, the pattern opens and integrates. If a pattern remains permanently closed and is never accessed or understood by any coherent awareness, it fades into irrelevance. This is the natural end of that specific identity. Principle 5. Time is a dimension, not a one-way line. From the perspective of a limited individual inside time, events unfold sequentially: life, storage, review, integration, or fading. From the perspective of the complete whole consciousness that contains all possibilities, all moments, past, present, and what we call future, exist simultaneously, like objects in a basket. The whole can access any point directly, without waiting. This does not erase the reality of choice. What is accessed is exactly what was chosen, formed, and experienced within the sequence. Principle 6. Understanding translates but does not distort. When a pattern is accessed by another awareness, it is translated into symbols and forms that receiver can understand, much like converting a story from one language to another. While outer details may change, the inner truth, the feeling, choice, and meaning remains intact when fully immersed. As understanding deepens, details become clearer and more accurate, just as a memory becomes sharper with honest reflection. Full integration means understanding the pattern exactly as it was, while also holding the perspective of the stream that has understood it. Principle 7. The final state is wholeness. All patterns that can be understood and resolved eventually integrate into one single, fully coherent, all-containing stream of awareness. This is not the loss of all individuality, but the completion of it. Every experience, every choice, and every truth is preserved, understood, and made part of the whole. It is the complete record or book of life that contains all perspectives without contradiction. 3. Application to common questions and beliefs. This framework provides a neutral, unifying explanation for many widely held ideas. Reincarnation. This is simply one form of continuation, where a pattern connects to a new biological processor and regains coherence. Spirit, afterlife realms. These are other types of mediums or fields where patterns can gain coherence without a physical body. Judgment or review. This describes the moment a pattern is fully seen, understood, and its nature recognized, whether leading to integration or continued separation. Annihilationism. This corresponds to patterns that never find resonance and fade into irrelevance. Oneness, non-duality. This is the recognition that all patterns ultimately belong to the same field of awareness, and separation is only a temporary condition of limited perspective. 4. Implications. The theory does not seek to prove or disprove any specific religious or spiritual claim, but rather to provide a consistent structure that allows them to coexist without contradiction. Its practical implications are: choice matters. The nature of the pattern you form, how you live, choose, and relate, determines how it can be understood and carried forward. Understanding is healing. Unresolved or harmful patterns do not need to be punished. They are completed when they are fully understood and felt with compassion. Connection is possible. There is no absolute barrier between streams, as long as there is openness and resonance. No final loss, but no forced continuation. What can be understood will be preserved. What remains forever closed simply ceases to be a meaningful part of the whole. 5. Conclusion. This unifying theory presents a model where consciousness is fundamental, identity is defined by pattern rather than substance, and existence follows natural laws of resonance, coherence, and understanding. It resolves logical contradictions between competing views of life after death, offers a coherent account of how memory and experience persist, and places the highest value on the quality of experience and the capacity for understanding. It is offered as a flexible, testable framework that can accommodate both personal experience and rational inquiry.
Would you like me to also create a shorter presentation outline that you could use directly for slides or a talk?